Ever wondered what would have happened if Andrew Ryan, the visionary and tyrant of Rapture, had survived? What if he'd escaped his drowning city and tried to build his paradise again, but this time on solid ground? Let's dive into a world that could have been... Imagine this. The year is 1960. The Civil War in Rapture has reached its breaking point. Atlas's forces are closing in. But Andrew Ryan, ever the strategist, has a contingency plan. He doesn't go down with his city. Instead, he orchestrates a secret escape, smuggling himself and a handful of his most loyal scientists and thinkers out of the undersea metropolis. Their destination, a place as far from the sea as possible, a place where a man can still build his own world. The vast, empty deserts of Nevada. With the remnants of his fortune and the brilliant minds he saved, Ryan acquires a massive, isolated tract of land. He calls his new project... It's Rapture 2.0! But this time, under the open sky. The U.S. government, dealing with a Cold War and focused on threats from abroad, barely notices. To them, it's just some eccentric billionaire building a strange, self-contained community in the middle of nowhere. They grant the permits, content to let him be, as long as he pays his taxes and doesn't cause any trouble. Olympus is born. For 10 years, Ryan's dream... Olympus is a marvel of mid-century futurism and objectivist philosophy. The city, designed for 500,000 people, rises from the desert flora collection of gleaming Art Deco towers, automated monorails, and verdant, climate-controlled bio... There are no gods or kings, only man. The greatest minds in science, art, and industry flock to this new haven, free from the constraints of government and society. The great chain of industry pulls Olympus towards prosperity. It's everything Rapture was meant to be, but stable, successful, and safe. Or so it seems. Back in the ruins of Rapture, a new power has risen from the ashes. Franco Fontaine, a master manipulator who faked his own death and re-emerged as Atlas, has consolidated his control. With Ryan gone, Fontaine is the undisputed king of the crumbling city. He controls the atom, the plasmids, and the splicer population. But Rapture is a tomb, and Fontaine's ambition is limitless. He learns of Ryan's escape and the existence of Olympus. He sees not just a rival to be crushed, but a prize to be taken. Fontaine's plan is subtle. He can't launch a direct assault on a city on U.S. soil. Instead, he uses the one weapon Ryan never could resist: his own ideology. He begins to smuggle his own agents into Olympus, disguised as brilliant entrepreneurs and innovators. These agents don't bring guns. They bring ideas. They open businesses that offer slightly better products, slightly cheaper services. They introduce new, improved genetic enhancements, milder versions of plasmids marketed as simple productivity boosters and cosmetic treatments. Ryan, ever the believer in the free market, allows it. A man is entitled to the sweat of his brow, he declares. He sees this competition as healthy, a sign that his philosophy is working. He doesn't realize that Fontaine's businesses are a Trojan horse, designed to destabilize Olympus from within. These new plasmids, while seemingly harmless, have hidden addictive properties and long-term psychological side effects, slowly creating a dependent and volatile population. Meanwhile, Fontaine needs a key to unlock the city. He needs an inside man, someone with access to Ryan himself. He finds him in a young, ambitious man with a mysterious past and a familiar genetic marker, a young man named Jack. In this timeline, Jack wasn't sent to Rapture as an infant. Instead, he was raised on the surface, groomed by Fontaine's organization, his mind conditioned with a simple phrase: "Would you kindly?" He's sent to Olympus, not as a plane crash survivor, but as a promising young architect, winning a prestigious apprenticeship under Andrew Ryan himself. Ryan is impressed by Jack's talent and drive. He sees a reflection of his younger self in the boy, a successor to his vision. He takes Jack under his wing, unaware that he's mentoring his own assassin. 4 months. Jack becomes Ryan's most trusted protege, learning the city's secrets, its infrastructure, its security systems. The year is now 1970. 10 years after Olympus was founded, Fontaine decides it's time to strike. On the eve of the city's decennial celebration, he gives the order. All across Olympus, his agents activate the secondary functions of their harmless plasma. Thousands of citizens are suddenly gripped by paranoia, aggression, and a craving for more, which Fontaine's businesses are now the sole providers of. Minor disputes escalate into violent brawls. The city's perfect harmony shatters in an instant. As chaos erupts in the streets, Jack is in Ryan's office at the top of the Olympus spire, overlooking the city as it begins to burn. Ryan is in disbelief, watching his dream crumble for a second time. Then, a voice crackles over Jack's hidden radio. It's Fontaine. It's time, kid. Would you kindly put the old man out of his misery? A man chooses. A slave. A bait. The trigger phrase hits Jack like a bolt of lightning. The conditioning takes over. He turns to Ryan, his expression blank. Ryan finally understands. He sees the family resemblance in Jack's eyes. The genetic key. He sees Fontaine's ultimate victory. But this time, Ryan doesn't hand Jack a golf club. He doesn't accept his fate. He fights back. He is Andrew Ryan, and he will not be a slave to another man's will. The fight is desperate. An old ideologue against a young, conditioned killer. But Ryan's office is his fortress, filled with security measures and prototypes. He manages to trigger an alarm, but it's too late. Jack, enhanced by a latent plasmid given to him by Fontaine, is faster and stronger. In the end, in the heart of his second utopia, Andrew Ryan falls. Jack, the puppet, has cut the strings of the master puppeteer. With Ryan dead and the city in chaos, Fontaine makes his move. He arrives in Olympus not as a conqueror, but as a savior. His forces, posing as a private security firm, move in to restore order. They distribute the antidote to the bad plasmids, which is, of course, more Adam, ensuring the population's loyalty. Frank Fontaine addresses the citizens of Olympus, promising to rebuild, to restore the dream. He presents himself as the pragmatic successor to Ryan, the man who can make the great chain work for everyone. The government, seeing a crisis contained without their intervention, is content to let Fontaine take over. Olympus has a new leader. Franco Fontaine, the ultimate conman, has finally stolen Andrew Ryan's dream, not once, but twice. He now sits in Ryan's chair, looking out over his new kingdom. He has the city, the technology, the population, and a steady supply of Adam. He is the new Andrew Ryan, but without any of the philosophy, only the insatiable hunger for power. The dream of Olympus is dead, replaced by the reign of Fontaine. And Jack, he's left to wander the city he helped destroy, a man without a purpose, forever haunted by the choices that were never his. Thanks for watching this alternate history of the world of BioShock. What do you think would have happened next? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into what could have been, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you next time.